lecture, we are going to discuss some numerical problems on deadlock avoidance. We studied all the concepts related to third unit on course operating systems. In operating systems, deadlock is one of the symptoms to check whether the system is halted or not. If all the processes are currently running in the system or not, and when the deadlock is occurred, there are several solutions to handle the deadlock. Those are called deadlock handling methods. So when we are trying to handle these deadlocks in the system, we followed prevention, avoidance, detection and recovery. Three types of deadlock management methods we have seen, and we have observed what are the algorithms we followed and what are the conditions are there in it. All we have seen. Now if you want to understand in detail with the help of numerical values, this lecture helps you to understand what exactly the deadlock avoidance is. Here, so let us see a question here. Suppose we have 5 processes using 3 resources A, B and C. We have 10 instances of A, 5 instances of B and 7 instances of C. At time t0, the system snapshot is as below. At time t0, this is the situation of a system. There are 3 resources named as A, B and C, 10 instances of resource A, 5 instances of resource B, 7 instances of resource C. Simply you can simply say that this is the problem related to multiple instances of each resource type. We have 3 resources, each resource has multiple instances. So you cannot apply resource allocation graph algorithm. You should apply only multi-instance resource related algorithms. And what is the data they have given? If you see the data here, there are 5 processes P0 to P4, P0, P1, P2, P3, P4. And what are the resources allocated? What are the resources those processes are claiming? What is the maximum claim of P0? P0, the maximum claim of 7 instances of A, 5 instances of B, 3 instances of C. In similarly, 3 instances of A, 2 instances of B and 2 instances of C. This is the maximum claim of all processes which are given in this table. And coming to the allocation, what are the allocated resources to the processes? 0 A's are allocated to P0, 1 B is allocated to P0 and 0 C's are allocated to P0. Similarly, 2 instances of A are allocated to P1, 0 instances of B are allocated to P1 and 0 instances of C allocated to P1. Like that, so they have given what is the maximum requirement of each process to complete its execution and how many resources, how many instances of each resource already allocated to processes P0 to P4. This is the data they have given. This is the question. And finally what they are asking, identify safe sequence for the given set of processes if it exists. If the safe sequences exist for these set of processes, what are the set in that process set? Process set contains 5 processes named P0, P1, P2, P3, P4. For these processes and these number of resources are available, this is the maximum claim of each process of each type of resource and this is the allocation. Then can you identify a safe sequence or not? If the safe sequence is identified, then the system is in safe. If there is no safe sequence exist, the system is in unsafe state. If the system is in safe state, definitely we can say that there is no deadlock, then you can continue the execution. It means you can give the request or maximum claim, and then we are able to identify a sequence for a given data, order for a given data of the set of processes. This is the question they are asking. Are you able to identify a safe sequence for the given data? So then coming to the solution, here this is the data they have given. When based on the question they have given here, what type of algorithm we are going to apply? We are going to apply the safety algorithm from deadlock avoidance. From deadlock avoidance, we are going to apply a safety algorithm. So this is a one algorithm from the Banker's algorithm. We have studied in detail when we have gone through the lecture deadlock avoidance. With this data, so what we are going to calculate first? First we are going to calculate what is the maximum allocation of A instances, the resource type A instances, and what is the total allocation of resource B, and what is the total allocation of resource C. This is we have calculated, and you can see in the table 7 instances of A already allocated to processes P0 to P4, and 2 instances of B allocated to P0 to P4, and 5 instances of C allocated to P0 to P4. This is the already allocated instances of 3 resource types to all processes exist in the system. And with this allocation, you can calculate what is the current availability. So current availability available equal to total instances of resources minus total allocation of resources. What is availability? Total instances of resources. What are the instances of resources? In the problem, they have given what are the instances of A. The instances of A, resource type A is 10. So 5 instances of B and 7 instances of C. So if you subtract allocated instances of resources from the existing instances of resources, then we will get the current availability here. So this is the already allocated instances of resources A, B, C, and if you want to calculate what is the current availability of resources, then the formula is total instances of resources minus total allocation of resources. So here A 10 instances means total instances, and B 5 total instances are available, and C 7 total instances of C available. But allocated 7 is already allocated among 5 processes, and 2 instances of B allocated among 5 processes. Similarly, 5 instances of C allocated from P0 to P4 processes. And if you subtract the second one, means the current allocation minus total existing instances of resources, we will get 3, 3, 2. So 3 A's, 3 B's, 2 C's currently available. What is the availability? Current availability of resources. The current availability of resources are 3, 3, 2. So this is the point we have calculated from the given data. So far what we calculated? So far we have calculated what is the current availability of resources. Sometimes in some problems they will give the availability also. But in this problem they have not given what is the availability of resources. They have given the existing resources and they have given the maximum claim of all processes, and in this problem they have given what is the allocation status of resources to the processes. From that we have calculated using a formula availability equal to total instances of resources minus total allocation of resources. Now what we are trying to do is, here we have calculated a data. What is the data we have calculated? What is the current availability? The current availability we have derived from the last slide. What is that? 332. 332 is the current availability, 3 A's, 3 B's and 3 C's. Using this data, so now you can apply a safety algorithm. So here calculate the need of each process from P0 to P4. So what is the formula for need? The formula for need equal to maximum claim of resources by the processes minus what is the allocation of resources to those processes. So you can simply calculate max minus allocation max matrix minus allocation matrix. What we will get? We will get the future need of all processes on resources. Now if you see, so how did you get the 7? So here 7, so P0, how many, what is the maximum claim of P0 of A? 7. And how much allocated? 0. 7 minus 0 is 7. And what is the maximum claim of P0 on B? 5. And how much B's are allocated? Only 1. So that 5 minus 1, that is 4. And next one is P0, what is the maximum claim of C? The maximum claim of C of P0 is 3. Now, what is the allocation of C for P0? 0. 3 minus 0. So, here the need is 3. Similarly, for P1, P2, P3, P4, we have calculated. So, need of all processes, this is the need matrix. You know, there are 4 data structures for Banker's algorithm. One is a max, another one is allocation, availability, need. You know, available is a vector. It is a one-dimensional array vector of size m. M is number of resources. And you know, max is a matrix, that is n by m. N is the number of processes and m is the number of resources. So max is a matrix, it is a two-dimensional array. Here, how many number of rows? 5 rows, 5 processes. How many number of columns? 3 resources. Similarly, allocation is also a matrix of size n by m. Need is also a matrix of size n by m. Here, number of rows are 5, number of columns are 3. Now apply safety algorithm to find the safe sequence. Here, what is the condition when we are going to apply a safe sequence? Find a I for all I from 0 to 4. Now here, for all I, 0 less than or equal to I less than or equal to 4. Find such a process. What is the condition here? Need of I, need of that ith process less than or equal to available. What is the current available? Current available is 332. 3 A's, 3 B's, 2 C's. And we find such a process Pi. So from the need matrix, from the need of that process, if any process is satisfied that condition, then update the availability. So like that, you find you find a sequence or an order in which order we are going to allocate the resources. So for the processes to complete their execution. If we allocated the resources in that order, definitely we can avoid the deadlock. That is the actual outcome of this problem. Now, what is the next step here is, we are going to check the P0. What is the P0 need? P0 need is 7 A's, 4 B's and 3 C's. Is the condition satisfied? What is the need? Need is 743. Is 743 is less than or equal to available? 7 is not less than 3. 4 is not less than 3. And 3 is not less than 2. So that P0 condition is not satisfied. Then go to P1. What is the need of P1 A's? P1 A need is 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 3? Yes, true. Is 2 less than or equal to 3? Yes, true. Is 2 C's? It is asking 2 C's. Is 2 C's less than or equal to available C's? Yes. 3 comparisons are true. Then So what is the process we have find? P1 is the correct process from the top to bottom. Another process also will be satisfied, maybe P3. So if you compare the need of P3 also can satisfy this condition, but we are comparing from the top to bottom in the need matrix, so that what is the first process satisfied the condition P1. So P1 need is 1, 2, 2. Is it less than or equal to current available? Yes. What is the current availability? Current availability is 3, 3, 2. So that this condition is true. Then what is the step we have to do? Update available. Update available. Available equal to available plus P1 allocation. What is the P1 allocation here? P1 allocation is 200. So why we are adding this allocation? Reason is, once we allocated the resources, the need of resources of P1 we allocated, after execution P1 is going to release the all allocated resources. Assume that we have allocated 1, 2, 2, then it is going to release already allocated resources and given resources, so that we are simply adding already allocated resources to the available resources. So available resources are 332 and allocated resources are 200. Then what is the current availability? Current availability is 5 A's, 3 B's and 2 C's. Then availability is updated. What is the availability here? 532. And using 532, again you start from the top to bottom, or you can continue from P1. So whatever the steps you want to follow, you follow, no problem. But again you start from the P0. So again you compare with the P0, P0 cannot satisfy. Then P1 is already completed. So that P1 completes execution, it is not there in the list. And next one P2. P2 is not satisfied. Why P2 not satisfied? P2 need is 6 years. But how many years we have? Only 5 years. So that we cannot allocate the resources to P2. Then go to P3. Now go to P3. What is the need of P3? The need of P3, 0 A's, 1 B and 1 C. 0 A's, 1 A, 1 B's and 1 C. Is it less than or equal to current available? Yes. 0 is less than or equal to 5, 1 is less than or equal to 3 and another 1 C is less than or equal to 2. So the P3 satisfied the condition. Then update the available. What is the update availability here? Available equal to available plus P3 allocation. Available plus P3 allocation. What is the P3 allocation here? P3 allocation is 2, 1, 1. 2 A's, 1 B and 1 C. Then what is the current available? The current availability is 7, 4, 3. 7 A's are currently available, 7 B's are currently available and 7 C's are currently available. Again you start from the beginning. Okay, here what are the processes currently there in the list? P0 and P2, P4. P1 and P3 already completes execution and released the resources. That is the reason current availability is 743. Now you select P0, means we found P0 satisfied the condition. What is the condition it is satisfied? P0 need is 743. It is less than or equal to current available. Current available is 743. 7 less than or equal to 7 is true. 4 less than or equal to 4 true. 3 less than or equal to 3 true. So here this condition is true. Then the selected I is 0, means P0 is selected to allocate the resources. Once the resources are allocated, P0 will complete its execution, then it releases the resources. What are the resources it is going to release? 0, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0, update the availability with 0, 1, 0. If we add, so 7, 4, 3 plus 0, 1, 0, then what is the current available? The current availability is updated as 753. But in the previous step, what is the current availability? 743. Now after adding 101, what is the current availability? 753. Okay. Now with 753, what are the processes completed so far? Okay, P1 completed, then P3 completed, P0 completed. What are the remaining processes? P2, P4. Now again we are coming from beginning. P0 is not there, P1 is not there. Now P2 and P4, again you compare with P2. What is the P2 need? P2 need is 600. If 600 less than or equal to current availability, what is the current availability? 743. So 743 is the current availability. Is 0 less than or equal to 7? Yes, true. Is 6 less than or equal to 7? Yes, true. 0 is less than or equal to 5? Yes, true. And 0 C's are less than or equal to 3 C's? Yes, true. If all three conditions are true, then P2 is selected to allocate the resources. Once the resources are allocated to P2, what is the availability? 753 is the current availability, plus what are the resources it is going to release? It is going to release the resources. What are the resources? Okay. What are the resources it is going to release? 302. 302 are the resources it is going to release. Then what is the current availability? Current availability is 1055. P3 also completed. With 1053, can you satisfy the need of P4? Definitely we can satisfy. Then what is the current availability here? What we are trying to do is, we are adding current availability plus the resources released by P0. What are the resources? P4. P4 is going to release the resources 002. So 10 plus 0, 10, 0 plus 5, 5, and 5 plus 2, 7. So this is the updated available. Finally, after executing all processes, P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, after executing all processes, all resources are released. What are the resources here released? 10 A's are released, means currently free, and 5 resources are B currently free, and 7 resources. So according to the given question, how many resources are there for A? 10. How many instances of B's are available? 5. How many resources of C? 7. So finally we arrived to the given number of instances of resource types 3, A, B, C respectively. Therefore we did correctly. Then what is the safe sequence? What is the safe sequence here? The safe sequence is, first process we have allocated the resources to P1. Why we have allocated the resources for P1? Why don't you allocate for P0? If you allocate the resources for P0, so P0 even can't continue its execution. Why? Because P1 need is greater than the existing available resources. So we can't allocate for P0. The P1, if you allocate the resources for P1 with the available resources, then P1 completes its execution and release the resources. Whatever the resources released by P1, you can add them to the availability. So that is the point you can understand. Therefore, what is the order we have to follow? The order we have to follow for the allocation of resources for this problem is first P1, then P3, then P0, after that P2, finally P4. If you followed this sequence, this order of allocating resources for the given data, definitely you can avoid a deadlock. So this is only the safe sequence? No. There are several safe sequences. This is one of the safe sequence to allocate the resources to avoid the deadlock. You can get more than one safe sequence. This is one of the safe sequence. What is the condition we followed? Whenever you want to allocate the resources, you always search from first, means top to bottom. But in some problems, in some cases, we may allocate the resources from the current position. But in this problem, what we did is we are allocated resources from top to bottom. This is the way to solve, to find a safe sequence. Once the safe sequences exist, then simply you can say the system is in safe state. Once the system is in safe state, there is no deadlock. Thank you. So you can solve a problems like this. Thank you for watching.